How did you change? How did you become white? First thing she was like, oh, more utri karta yellow. This is also a little sad, but I don't know. Okay, I will talk about it. Hello and welcome. Hi, I'm Satshya. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And first off, I want to say thank you so much for the amazing response on the previous skincare video. I'm loving all your comments and I love all the suggestions you've given and how you're all helping each other in the comment section. I love the community you've created. But there are a couple of comments that came up that I really want to address. So let's get into it. Hello! Easy. So the first thing is a lot of you said I have flawless skin, and I understand that because of the camera and the lighting it might look like that. Remember I was telling you about Proactive and the scars that it left me with? Yeah, it's here. You can see the pores that I still have. My specs actually covers a lot of the problem areas. So here all along these sides I have these pits and these scars alongside my face. You know, when you're sitting like this far from the camera and there's nice light bouncing on your face, it's not so noticeable. But for me personally, my problem area was always my forehead. So once those bumps on my forehead cleared, I was like, hallelujah, I have clear skin. I don't care about anything else on the side of my face, because honestly, when I look in the mirror, I can't see it myself, so it doesn't bother me. But that's that. I just wanted to clarify that. If you're taking pictures of yourself, if you take it in regular light versus when you take it in sunlight, your skin looks much better. It looks much more glowing. Sad about your skin, just go near a window and click a photo and you will instantly see that your skin looks better. So sometimes, like, yes, we have skin issues, but sometimes it's just about lighting and perception. Okay, so that. The second thing is lip pigmentation. So a lot of you asked me how did I fix my lip pigmentation, and the truth is that I have not. I'm just wearing lipstick. I still very much have my lip pigmentation. I've had it ever since I was born. Even my dad has a darker upper lip and a lighter lower lip, and so that's why my lips are the way they are. And growing up, I used to be very, very conscious about it because everybody else in my family has even toned lips, and I used to be like, what is wrong with me? Like, why are my lips like this? And also it doesn't help when your friends or people around you are like, what happened to your lips? Like, why are they so dark compared to your face? Like, do you smoke? And you're asking this to someone who's in high school. So I always was very conscious about it. But at that time, again, I didn't have any access to lipstick or whatever. I tried to put gloss, but that kind of made it look worse. Especially when you have pigmented lips and you just put gloss on it, I felt like it looked even worse. So that's then just something I was like, listen, I can't deal with it. And funny enough, you know, people start with like pinkish lipsticks. I started off with red lipstick because that was the only one that was pigmented enough to give me like an even layer on my lips. And the first time I put it, I felt amazing. I felt so empowered. I still remember it was like a Lakme red lipstick. I don't have it now because it broke because I used it so much. Like, it made me feel so good, and I would obviously couldn't wear it for every day. My parents would have been like, what are you doing? But for special events, college events, that red lipstick went on, and it made me feel like amazing. Even today when I wear lipstick, I feel good. I feel prettier and I feel just better about myself. And I know it's not like, I know people say you should love the way you are, embrace your natural beauty. For me, growing up and for so long feeling conscious about my lips, it's not possible to suddenly be like, yes, I love myself. It is true that I have slowly become more comfortable with it, because earlier when I would post stories on Instagram, I would never go on my stories without lipstick on, or if I did, I would put a filter. Even when I created my own filter, I had it with a lip tint because I love filters with lip tints because that just made me feel comfortable. And then slowly, I started posting without any lipstick, and I realized that nobody else noticed. Nobody was pointing out and saying, hey, you have dark lips. Like, that was mainly a me problem. So then I became more comfortable with it, but still in my everyday day-to-day life, I just feel better when I put lipstick. I don't know if that's going to change. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with it, though. You know, like people around me are like, oh, if you keep putting lipstick, then your lips will get darker or whatever. But I'm like, it's not like my lips are getting lighter in any way if I stop putting lipstick. Plus, okay, one more thing I have to say. I have tried, okay, all the lip pigmentation things that you've seen on the internet, putting lime sugar scrub, what lime juice and sugar, and scrubbing my lips with it. All it did was make my skin more sensitive and my lips red, not in a good way, but in like a very harsh way. Don't try that. I also keep getting ads for like these lip products which claim to lighten your lip pigmentation. So far, I don't trust any of them, because from what I know, if it is genetic and it's not induced by smoking or other environmental issues or whatever, then you can't, like, I was born like this, so it'll be like this only. So it's okay. I mean, I have lipstick. I have so many videos on my channel on the range of lipsticks that I have, and I usually prefer like a nudish pinkish color, so you can check out those videos for lipstick options. I will say that it's difficult, especially when you're buying lipsticks and your friends around you are buying like glosses, lip oils, and they're like, oh look, this suits every skin. But when I try lip oils, because it's so sheer, lip tints, that peri-pera lip tint, it looks so patchy on my lips, because my lips are anyway of 2 different tones, so it doesn't cover it out evenly. It looks even worse. I feel like I look like a clown. So it's just, when I see those products, I'm like, I wish I had even toned lips, and I could just try it out and see what it looked like on me. But I'm not complaining. I'm healthy. My lips are not dry or cracked, whatever. I'm just happy I have lipstick for whatever issues I have. So I am good. The third thing that I got was, oh wait, before all this, you remember in the video I had mentioned how when I was growing up I had these big bumps on my head, and you know, with time and using aloe vera, etc., all of it went, and I was like, yay, clear skin. So I filmed that video 3 weeks ago, and few days after I filmed that video, I started getting those bumps again. And that's because Singapore went through like a really hot, humid spell, and it was so hot, and maybe I was eating heaty foods, I don't know. I got that again, and I was like, no, this cannot be happening. Like few days after I tell the internet, oh, it's all clear, it's come back. At this time I didn't have access to fresh aloe vera. Luckily, this turned out to be the savior for me, the Cosrx Advanced Snail Mucin Power Essence. I would just wash my face at night, apply a layer of this, and go to sleep. My forehead, like, it has cleared a lot. It has helped so much from what it was. My goodness, I was scared. I'm like, am I going through second puberty? This helped a lot. So if you are facing it and you are experiencing, just try this. Hopefully it will help. The third thing. Now this is a little I was debating whether I wanted to talk about this or not, but I was like, man, I have to. I had so many feelings about this. So this question was about how did my skin color change through the years? I understand it's a completely valid question, because in all my old photos I'm looking much darker than I am now. So the first time I saw it, I was like, okay. But then I got so many comments on, like, so many of you were asking me, how did you lighten your skin? How did you, like, give tips on how to lighten skin? How did you change? How did you become white? I was like, wait, hold on. So let's go back a bit. When I was born, I was pretty fair. But when I went to school, I was heavily involved in sports. I was outside a lot. I used to play outside a lot. And so I became darker. Even in college also, I was very active in all the activities. I used to be in the sun a lot. When I was editing the video, I realized I completely got sidetracked and did not complete the story. I started work, so I would spend the entire day in office, would not step out too much. So because of that, the tan faded, but my skin was still dull. Like, I was fairer, but I didn't have that glow yet. And that only came once I started eating clean and working out. And that's when my skin, like, completely transformed. And if you want a video on my entire routine of the 3 months that I did that very, very strict routine, let me know. I will share a video on it. And the thing is, in my family, nobody ever said like, oh, don't go into the sun, you'll become dark, or oh, you've become dark. So for me, growing up, it was never, I never even thought about it. Like, it was never even an issue for me to think that, oh, I'm becoming tan. So I never had that thought only in my mind of oh, I was fair, now I become dark or whatever. The first time I came across this concept was because when I was in school, in my volleyball team, there was this girl who's superbly good at athletics. I mean, next level talented, okay? Like she was so fast. If you caught her in Coco, it was like personal achievement of the day. Super fast, great at long jump, high jump, all the athletics events, sports day. She was athlete of the school only. She was so good. But when she was in, I think, 8th or ninth grade, her mother started telling her, you're becoming dark, you're becoming dark, stop playing sports. And the sad part is she actually did. So even like our volleyball team was so strong with her, and it was so like heartbreaking to see such a girl with so much of talent. And also, when you're involved in something that you're good at, it gives you a lot of confidence, right? So imagine you're taking something away from someone that gives them so much joy and confidence, and just for the sake of skin color, which will anyway, if you tan, your color will fade. Like it's not permanent. You're not. First of all, there's nothing wrong with being dark. Secondly, if you tan, it will go. Okay. Looking back now, I just feel really, really bad for her that she missed out on so many great experiences, opportunities, awards just because her mother was like, oh, you'll become dark. This also brings me to us talking about, okay, now we are saying like, oh, now everybody is inclusive about skin tones. Nobody thinks about that now, but that's not true. So I have a niece who again is supremely talented in athletics. I don't know how because the rest of us in the family are not that athletic, but she's so good at sports. And again, because when she was born she was quite fair and she started sports, so she tanned quite a lot. And there was one relative's house that we had gone to, and she was an old lady, okay, and she was like, she saw her, and the first thing she was like, oh, modutri kartayallo. And in Malayalam it means like, oh, you've become so dark. And immediately my cousin, who's her mother, was like, there's nothing wrong with her being dark. She's tanned because she plays outside, and I'm so happy that my daughter is healthy and happy that she's able to play outside. I have no issues with her tanning. She also doesn't have any issues, and I think it's completely okay. And me in that moment, see, usually if someone said that around me, I'd be like, old person, what do they know? And I'm not spoken up. But the fact that my cousin spoke out, I was like so proud. And also imagine the kind of self-confidence it gives that young girl, right? To see that her mother is standing up for her and also normalizing these things. Which is why, and this happened a couple of years ago. Imagine at that time her mother was like, oh yeah, correct, Mole, don't play out in the sun. Today she wouldn't be this award-winning athlete that we all know and love in the family, right? Makes a huge difference when you speak up. This is also a little sad, but I don't know. Okay, I will talk about it. My mom is quite fair and my dad is on the darker side in the family, okay? So a lot of people would tell me that, oh, you're lucky you got your mother's color, you're lucky you got your mother's color. And I didn't think much of it. I didn't think of how it might affect my dad. Until once, me and my parents, we had gone on a trip to Agra. Okay, I was showing them around Delhi. I was like, come, let's go to Agra and see Taj Mahal. And we had a tour guide for that. And then he was like making conversation very jolly. And he was like, looked at my mother and she was like, "Aap South se ho kya?" And she was like, "Yeah, मैं मलयाली हूँ." And he said, हाँ, आपको देखते नहीं लगता है, लेकिन सर को देखते जरूर लगता है वो मद्रासी है. And we were like, what? And sometimes, you don't have the energy to fight with people, and especially if it's a stranger, you think like, what's the point of arguing with them? And then he goes on to say, oh, तुम्हारी बेटी lucky है कि, sorry, my Hindi is not so good. तुम्हारी बेटी lucky है कि तुम्हारा color मिल गया. And immediately my mother was like, आप कैसे, like, वो सही नहीं है, किसी का भी कलर मिलता है तो अच्छा है, like fair or dark, it's not a big deal, and you should not be saying things like this, like just because someone is fair doesn't make them better than the other person. And again, like, I guess until I became an adult, I didn't realize the impact of these statements and how important it is to have these conversations around children, even when they are older, and how important your actions are and how they can impact people around you. And for the people who are asking these questions, how to become fairer, I don't know where these questions are coming from. Maybe people around you also have said things like this to you, but just know that, you know what, as long as your skin is healthy and it is clear and it is glowing, it doesn't matter what skin shade you have. Even if you have skin issues now, don't worry, that can be resolved. I know it's scary to speak up to people. Like, many times when someone says something to me, in my head I will give reply, but in the moment I'll be like, and later I'll go and tell Akash, how could they say like that? I wish I said this. But it comes with time, it comes with practice. But the main thing is that you don't internalize it, right? Even if at that moment you don't speak back to that person and you don't like say, how can you say that? The fact that you didn't internalize it and say, oh yeah, I am bad because of my skin tone or because of my accent or whatever, that I feel like is some growth. Maybe a low bar, but it is some growth. Like, I get teased a lot because my hands sweat a lot, okay? My feet sweat a lot, my armpits sweat a lot, my face. Literally now you can see my nose sweating. And this is with the AC on, okay? I went from feeling super ashamed of all this, my skin, and feeling so upset, like, why am I like this? I remember writing my diary, why do I sweat so much? To now making it like a joke, and I made content about it. So it's okay. I mean, and I've come across people who have accepted me. Like, I used to be so embarrassed that what if I hold a boy's hand and he's like, yuck, your hand is sweaty. But now my husband holds my hand. Why do I care about anybody else? So just that. If you want me to make a video on how I handle the sweatiness, let me know. I would love to share my tips because it's been a journey. But anyway, I hope this clarified all the questions and doubts. And again, I read every single comment, okay? Because I really love seeing the kind of interaction that you have. And also, I was so happy to see that so many of you could relate. And I was like, bro, this is not just me who went through this journey. So I'm glad to know that there are others of you who are like me. And let's keep this community growing. I love it. Let me know what else you'd like videos on. Would love to show you and share more. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't yet. And for those of you who have stayed till the end, as promised, here is some Tonu content. I will show you my dog. He's sleeping right at my feet. He's fast asleep. And he's a good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. He's sleeping right near the tripod because he wants to be close to me. Yes. Yes. Okay, say goodbye to all the people watching the episode. And we'll go for a walk soon, okay? Oh, look at the size of his ears. As big as my finger. Oh, no, no. Lulu. Okay, bye. Bye.